Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Rushane Barnett given life sentence in murder of his 5 cousins. Integrity Commission calls for sanctions against J.C. Hutchinson over claims of nepotism. And later in sports, Reggae Boys captain Andre Blake wins MLS Goalkeeper of the Year award. I'm Shane Masters and here are the details. Rushane Barnett was sentenced to five concurrent life sentences for the murder of his cousin and her 4 children in Cocoa Peace, Clarendon. The sentence was handed down in the Home Circuit Court a short while ago by presiding judge Justice Leighton Pusey. Now, Barnett pleaded guilty on July 28 to the murder of 31-year-old Kimisha Wright and her children, 15-year-old Commander Smith, 12-year-old Shirley Smith, 5-year-old Raphaelia Smith, and 23-month-old Kishon Henry. The Integrity Commission is calling for strong legislative changes to address improper actions by members of Parliament. This as the Commission pointed out several alleged breaches, such as nepotism, by MPs. He must be sanctioned. The stance by the Integrity Commission into nepotism claims against the Member of Parliament for North West St. Elizabeth, J.C. Hutchinson. It surrounds the appointment of his partner, Lola Marshall Williams, to 5 public school boards within his constituency on 11 different occasions. According to the Director of Investigations, Kevin Stevenson, Mr. Hutchinson's repeated recommendation of his partner to the Board of Directors of publicly funded educational institutions amounted to nepotism and constituted an actual conflict of interest in light of their intimate relationship. He further noted that Mr. Hutchinson's actions in this regard were improper and irregular. He has therefore recommended Prime Minister Andrew Holness commissions a general review of the issue with a view to introducing legislation and or regulations to clarify how these should be managed. As for the damage to public confidence, Mr. Stevenson has recommended that both the Prime Minister and the Speaker of the House of Representatives implement sanctions which are both commensurate with the seriousness of Mr. Hutchinson's conduct and inspire public confidence in government. Now, the National Council on Education has also been advised to create, implement, and enforce a documented policy regarding conflicts of interest involving members of Parliament and candidates recommended by them for appointment to school boards of publicly funded institutions. It was also recommended that the Education Regulations 1980 be revised to include strict guidelines regarding the management, disclosure, and avoidance of conflicts of interests in the acceptance of recommendations for individuals to be appointed. The vessel which 2 fishermen who went missing in July were traveling in is believed to have been found. But as we hear in this report from Cody and Barrett, unfortunately, there was no body on board.
The small craft was discovered on Tuesday at White Horses Bank in St. Thomas by divers who say the boat fits the description of the one Akron Lewis and Bob Franklin used to go fishing in July.
It's a 28-footer with a Yama engine on it. We don't 100% sure how that boat swam, but that boat was missing for some time now. So we go and have a look. We could have took it up, but we decided not to take it up. We have to leave it to the JDF diver to take full charge of that.
A report was made to the Coast Guard, but on Wednesday, the spouse of one of the fishermen got a concerning response from the Yallis police station.
They said they cannot go out there to search for the boat that the fisherman see from the 18th until Friday morning, because the diver is not available for them to go out there to search. So I'm concerned about everything. Okay?
The men still have not been found and she's appealing for help.
Who hear me talking this morning? I'm concerned about the 2 fishermen. One of them is my baby father. One of them have 3 kids. Franklin have 3 kids. So I'm talking behalf of the 2 fishermen then.
Cody and Barrett, TVJ News.
A 36-year-old businessman was shot dead by gunmen in Hanover yesterday. Now, investigators reported that about 4 p.m. the victim, He Jing, was inside the Orange Bay supermarket along with his employees and customers when two masked men entered the establishment and opened gunfire at him. Now, Mr. Jing sustained multiple bullet wounds and was later pronounced dead at hospital. And it's time for a break here on the Midday News, but please stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Roughly $700 million has been spent in zones of special operation in Mount Salem, St. James, and Denham Town, West Kingston. $400 million of the amount was spent in Denham Town. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang outlined some of the initiatives undertaken in Mount Salem.
Mount Salem at the lower level, but a smaller community and a new community, and significant work was done in terms of infrastructure that was entirely new, and work now moves into the phase of titling for some of the properties there and to complete the institutional supporting activities in the police station is complete, and we are looking at major work on the school.
Dr. Chang admits there have been challenges in Denham Town.
There's a way to go in Denham Town. There have been some procurement delays, and their major programs are still yet to begin. We look forward to a number beginning, however, before the financial year is out, especially in the area of housing, which is a particular challenge in the Denham Town area. Soft work in terms of the schools will be initiated, and work continue to ensure their sustainability and genuine transformation. Essentially, Madam Speaker, the work plans remain on track.
And it's now time for the Business Minute. Here's Cody Barrett.
Changes are coming for Jamaica's post offices, including the digitization of its operations. A consultant has been identified to assist in modernizing and redefining how the Post and Telecommunications Department operates in a globally competitive space. According to Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Daryl Vaz, the procurement process is in the final stages. The expert will analyze and make policy recommendations for the possible structuring of the country's postal market, among other things. In business internationally, Spirit Airlines shareholders voted Wednesday to accept a $3.8 billion buyout from JetBlue Airways, but the deal could still face a challenge from federal antitrust regulators. JetBlue emerged as the winner in a bidding war with Frontier to acquire Spirit, the nation's biggest budget airline. Spirit announced the outcome after a brief meeting which was held online. Spirit said only that the JetBlue deal was supported by a majority of shares voted. It promised an exact count within 4 business days. That's it for the Business Minute. I'm Cody Barrett.
And it's now time for the top regional and international stories. Here's Sandra Williams.
In the region, the Barbados Police Service has established a new outpost in the Ivy St. Michael community in response to several shootings recently. The acting senior superintendent for the Bridgetown Division, Adrian Brooms, says the move is part of efforts to ensure residents felt safe. Around 11 a.m. on Wednesday, several officers were seen setting up the outpost and interacting with people in the neighborhood. Broom says the aim is to have a stronger security presence in the urban district. On the international scene, after 45 days in office, UK Prime Minister Liz Truss has resigned, making her time in office the shortest of any Prime Minister in British history. She released a statement Thursday saying she cannot deliver the mandate on which she was elected by the Conservative Party, citing great economic and international instability. Truss says she'll remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Sandy Williams.
And we head to a quick break. When we come back, Renata Brown will have your midday sports report. And that's the Midday News. I'm Rushane Masters. Join us at 7 for primetime news. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, have a good afternoon.